Okay, everybody, good evening and welcome to tonight's Purium Tuesday night training call. Leslie Zan here, excited as always to be with you. It is Tuesday, September 13th, and we have a jam-packed call. So with your permission, I am going to jump right in. I'm going to go super fast through WIN. I just want to make sure you know all the cool things are going on. I'm going to do a little bit of training, and then I'm going to pitch the call over to our very special guest this evening. So first of all, what's important now? CSP. Something's coming down the pike. I can't tell you what it is, but what I can tell you is if you are in the rhythm of the customer service practice, you will do better. You will be more successful at what's coming down the pike, right? I've been sworn to secrecy. So if you have not embraced the customer service practice and are working with it with your team, now is the time to really embrace that customer service. What else is important now? Widen your reach for everyone, even outside of your fast start period for the entire month of September. Then Fruit and Veggie Plus Pack and that fabulous site that allows you to showcase the Fruit and Veggie Plus Pack. Make sure that you're sharing that with your team. Fresh and new in boards. You should be going there every day, every other day to learn what's fresh and new. That deck from the September kickoff with all those very cool Purium Proud slides, they're there, and a script with copy or language or messaging to help you share authentically why you're Purium Proud. It is the last month for the Director Drive. So you have men and women now working towards that director position. This is the month to blow by director. And let's put a 1 in the chat if you were in our very special K Club call and you heard Isabel Uhl and Kimberly Sanders share all those top tips about K Club. Every one of these incentive calls have been so powerful because we bring in the top people and you hear from the people who are really not only embracing but mastering these skills. So what is our incentive call for this month? Fast start earners and fast start mentors. So when you qualify, if you're a newbie and you're qualifying for fast start, and or if you're an existing brand partner and you earn mentoring bonus, matching bonus for fast start, you will be invited to the special exclusive call on October 12th. And where we're going to really help you make fast start the new normal in your downline. You want to be on that call. Okay. And our topic this evening is going to be supportive for that journey for you. Okay. So our topic this evening is fast start. So I'm going to do a little bit of training, maybe just a few minutes of a little bit of training, a few concepts, and then I'm going to be working with our very special guests. So fast start. This is what we're talking about now. The first 10 days. The first 10 days of your new brand partner's career is a pivotal, never to be repeated time. So it just makes sense if they have their hands up, if they want to build a business, to help them get off to a fast start. And at Purium, I am absolutely convinced that we have one of the most lucrative fast start programs in our profession. And it's the combination. You ready for a formula? The combination of widen your reach plus UBT plus fast start. Okay, widen your reach plus UBT plus fast start is the key to success. And you're going to hear exactly how that works on the call this evening. And I would say the goal for a new brand partner, fast start director in the first 2 weeks. Now you can write that down in your journal, fast start consultant in the first 10 days or sooner, fast start director in the first 2 weeks or sooner. But I want you to ask yourself when you write that down, do you believe? Like, what is your perception of moving somebody, someone with their hand up, into the fast start program and helping them qualify fast start director within their first 2 weeks? I want you to be conscious that you are not playing small for your new brand partners. This is such an important, because pace duplicates and slow duplicates if you aren't careful. So what I want you to think about is if you did not go fast. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if for whatever reason you did not get off to a fast start. And it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe you weren't coachable. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe there was challenges. Maybe you just didn't give it a focus. Maybe you didn't understand what you had in your hands, right? So if you did not get off to a fast start, we just have to authentically craft your story so that every brand partner you bring on board, you can talk about the fast start. So you tell them, gosh, if I knew then what I knew now, right? If I knew then what I know now. And tell them the truth. I didn't get off to a fast start because, and tell them the truth. I wasn't coachable. I didn't pay attention. It wasn't a priority. Just, I didn't realize what I had in my hands. Life got in the way. Those are usually the reasons. But if I knew then what I know now, whew, things might have been different, which is why I make sure every single brand partner that I work with understands the fast start potential. Right? So if you did not get off to a fast start, get your authentic story down. Don't go into a long song and dance. I didn't pay attention. I didn't get it. No, it's just for whatever the reason was. I didn't make it a priority. Like whatever the reason was, I wasn't paying attention. Had life stuff going on. But if I knew then what I know now. Now, if you did get off to a fast start and you did qualify with fast start, shout it from the rooftops. But when I got enrolled in Purium and my sponsor, my mentor told me about the fast start program, when I saw there was $3,500 in bonus cash on the table, and then I could earn matching bonuses by teaching other people to do the same, I was all in. So if you did earn fast start, share it. If you didn't earn fast start, come up with that authentic story. These are good lessons to learn. Okay. So 2 more concepts that I'm introducing my special guest. This is just to set the foundation. Number 1, I want you all to remember or to hear for the first time, perhaps the law of pace. I want you to understand what I call the law of pace. I think there's a few irrefutable laws in our profession. One of them is what I call the law of pace. Very simply, what the law of pace is, the slower the start of your new brand partner, the longer the time frame until they get a win, get a customer, do a connect call, sponsor a brand partner. The longer the time period to a win, the greater the odds they are going to quit. Why? Because it's no fun. That's why. So the longer the time frame that to a win, to some type of activity, the greater the odds they're going to quit. Conversely, the law of pace, turn that coin around, the faster the start. Now, I'm not saying 0 to crown in a month, but the faster the start of your new brand partner, the faster you help her launch, the faster you help him get his first customer, the faster you help them get a win, enroll a new brand partner, the faster you help them with a UBT, those first 3 in the rhythm of 3, the faster you help them widen their reach and go online and widen your reach, the faster you help them get a win, get into action, the greater the odds they are going to stick around. And not only stick around while they get vested emotionally, gosh, I love these products. Gosh, I love my mentor. Gosh, I love this company. Gosh, I love everything about what I'm doing here. The longer they're going to get, or the quicker they'll get vested emotionally, and then ultimately they will stay in action and be vested financially. You can't ignore the law of pace. It just is the way gravity is, or the world is round is. That's the way it is. All right, the law of pace. The second concept I want to, or my last concept to set a foundation here, is I want to talk about the benefits of getting off to a fast start. The benefits, there are so many. And again, we're not talking 40 hours a week. Make sure that your new brand partner doesn't confuse fast with 40. We do not need full-time hours. We're not confusing fast with full-time, right? So there are so many benefits for getting off to a fast start. In fact, put in the chat, what's a benefit for getting off in the fast start? It's more fun. That's for sure. It's way more fun. How about earn back your investment? Belief, confidence, momentum, income. You're leading by example. Exactly. These are all benefits of getting off to a fast start. But there is exactly, Joey, the number one benefit, in my opinion. Those are all real benefits. The number one benefit for getting off to a fast start is they create a story of action, a story of win, a story of fun, a story of launching, of getting the first customers, of getting the first brand partners, of going wide in your reach, of earning fast start bonus. They create a story that's so compelling and will help them recruit more brand partners more quickly, more effectively than anything else. If this is making sense, put a 5 in the chat. It's the story. 'Tis the story. All right, I wanted to set some of those foundational strategies in place. And now it is with great pleasure, a real privilege, a real honor to introduce our guest tonight, who is up at 3 o'clock in the morning, Italy time, to share her expertise and mastery with you. I want you all to help me welcome to the call, 3-star crown, Christine Roseberry. Christine, my friend, buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Leslie. Such an honor to be here.
We're so happy to have you. And you're getting tons of love. You're getting tons of love. Literally, it's 3 o'clock in the morning where she is. Yep.
I'm going to try and be as awake as possible.
You are awake and looking smashing. Now, I know we have lots to go over. So the reason it was important for me to invite Christine to this call is because she's consistently, her team is consistently at the top of the leaderboard for fast start earners, and success leaves clues. And I want her to lay those clues on you this evening. So Christine, if we agree, we're going to go a little back and forth, right? I'm going to pitch a topic to you, then you just go in whatever direction you want, and then we'll just take it from there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So let's begin. Let's begin with the posture. Or a synonym to posture would be the attitude, right? What is this posture with regards to transferring fast start?
Yeah, so that's to me one of the most important things, because our personal belief system will transmit to them. So we're either going to duplicate fast or we're going to duplicate slow based on what our belief system is. But that's with anything. So I always try and show up no matter what the situation is. I always am careful to match my energy with the results of what I'm looking for. So I don't want to come with a dull, questioning or negative vibe. I want to be confident and share with them that I have the best thing possible for them. And this is what you want to do if you want to have success. And there's no option to start your business other than fast start if you want to have success. And it's doable, it's fun, and the vibe and the mindset and the energy that I try and bring. So before I even approach it, I'm always checking my posture, my stance, my verbiage, my body language, how I'm coming across. So how I do that is I like to get into remind myself of how it's benefited me, how on my team I'm seeing brand partner after brand partner launch their business in such an incredible way. So I really try and relive that in my mind vividly, so that I'm coming across with that excitement. It's contagious, and they have no choice but to say, yes, let's do this, because they're excited. So it's very important, the posture.
See, there's so many lessons here. She's not asking them, do you want to go fast? She's answering the question, what does it take to be successful? You see the difference? And she is so enthusiastic and so confident about the benefits to them about going fast that it's no question. It's the way it's presented. All right, let's keep going. So you talk a lot about asking questions to get their why and how you tie that to the fast start. Let's drill down into that area.
Yeah, so along the qualifying process, I'm always using repetition of my message of these fundamental skills. And for example, like I want to know their why right off the bat. So What would be your objective in doing something like this? How do you envision utilizing this business? What would you like to see in the first 90 days in the ideal world? What would you like to see happen? How much would you like to make? Just as many questions as I can, extrapolate any bit of information so that I can guide them exactly to what they're looking for in this business. So, I'm using, like I said, repetition of message when it comes to their why. So tying everything back to their why. Okay, so if this is your goal of getting 1,500 a month, one of the first steps we're going to need to take, we're going to want to take, is setting you up to start fast. And how we're going to do it is this and this and this. The faster you go, the faster we get you going, the faster you're going to make that 1,500. So I keep using repetition to the action I want them to take with their why, so that it's very implanted in their mind what they need to do to get to that why, and so that their why stays very clear in their head, so it stays vivid and they can see it and they want it.
This is so important. So she's clear on that. She gets clear about their why. Then every piece of advice, every storytelling or story she tells, when she's talking about what it's going to take, when she talks about the program, the key for your journal is keep tying it back to your why. And she said repetition. She didn't say I just tie it back to their why once. Oh, you want to earn $1,500? She says everything we talk about, I keep bringing it back to the why. If we do X, we're going to get that $1,500. We do Y, we're going to get that $1,500. When you do the X, we're going to get you that $1,500. So it's repetition and tying it back to the why. Powerful tip. All right, let's talk about how you set the bar. We always talk about in our leadership class, we're always talking about don't set the bar low, right? I mean, you can set the bar low and that's what they're going to jump over. But when you set that bar high, you allow them to decide if they're going to jump over that bar. So let's talk, you have a bunch of tips, I think 3 or 4 tips here with regards to how you set the bar high. So you just take it away and deliver all of your tips.
Okay. So yeah, I'm really passionate about the fact that we need to set the bar high and set the pace. And a perfect example of that, just a side note, on my team is Michelle Boersma. She has inspired me so much in that. And look at how her team is really taken off. So it just has instilled how this works. So it's up to us. They're coming to us to learn, as we're their mentor. It is our job to give them the best. Why would we set the bar low? Why would we sell them short? Or why would we play small? They don't know any different. So they know what we're sharing with them. And if we're asking the right questions, if we're pre-qualifying them, then we know where they're at. We know their goal. We know that they want to go fast or not. So of course, if they're not looking to go fast from the beginning, we're not dragging anyone. So we're talking about the ones that we've pre-qualified and they want to jump right in. They want success. They're ready to do this. So why would we set the bar anything else than high? So I share what's on the table for them. I let them know, like, hey, this is what you have on the table. The first 3 months, you can make up to $3,500. These are match bonuses. It's free money. I don't go into a lot of detail. I keep it simple. And I just want to explain enough for them to get excited and to want to move forward with it. So my goal is in their first week, I want them to have a paycheck by the next Friday, because when they get a paycheck in their hand, whether it's $50 or $300, it makes an impact. And I've heard it so many times when I get a brand new brand partner on and they get their first check, they're like, oh my goodness, especially even now with inflation, I've heard it more so. They're like, I just got $200 in the mail. Do you know what this $200 can do for me? So it is impactful to get their first paycheck as soon as possible. It ensures, as you mentioned, their long-term success in this business. It motivates them. It's impactful. It gives them their compelling story. That's another thing. It's so important to help them create their compelling story. So when we set the bar high and set the pace, that's creating their compelling story for their future brand partners, for their recruiting story, as you mentioned. And I personally am so thankful that I was able to do that, so that I've had my story, and it's been so beneficial in setting people up, your future prospects, for confidence. It instills confidence in you. They know you have what it takes to coach them because you've done it. And it helps, it just helps instill the fact that it gets your new prospects and your brand partners excited in the fact that it's actually doable, because they may think, oh, that's great. No, I thought it like, oh, that's great. But yeah, okay, what does it actually take to do this? I thought would be a whole nother thing, but it's so doable. So we want to express to them and really share with them how attainable it is, that will be there to hold their hand every step of the way. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. Am I going to? Okay. Stop me if I'm going off track. Okay. So actually, let me just go back to setting the bar high, because I'm getting off on a tangent that probably I'll come back to in a little bit. So it's our job as the upline to give them the roadmap to success in the best way possible that we know how. So I'm always cautious to never transmit anything that might be my limiting belief. Why would I want to put that on them? So I'm always trying to make sure I'm working on myself to make sure that what I'm sharing is the best for them, not easiest for me or what I think is the best for me because maybe it's uncomfortable. So they chose to work with us for a reason. Some have typed in or sought out after the top leaders to work with because they want that success. Imagine them selling them short. So we never want to do that. And so the sooner we get them into action, the quicker momentum is built, then the more lucrative it's going to be, the more growth they're going to be, the longer they're going to stick with this. And it's just so much more fun, because I always say you can either do it slow, where it's just painful enough to get a bunch of no's, or you can go fast and have fun and grow your business. So why not go fast?
It's so good. I've been taking notes. Okay. Did you, when you hear her and watch her look into the camera and say, this is so doable, do you doubt for a second? Do you doubt her for a second that she believes to her core that she could help anyone move through the Fast Start program? I mean, you don't doubt it for a second. And people buy into her belief because she knows they can, because they develop Fast Start earners all the time. So it's that positive, assumptive direction that plays this role every bit as much as what she's saying. It's how she's saying it, with that just incredible belief that they can do it. So, all right, you talked about so many things here, so doable. Do you want to go fast? You want to be just painful enough to get a bunch of no's. That is a great analogy, right? It's so much more fast. You want to go just slow enough so this is painful enough. It's just it's so good. And okay, so her 4 tips right here for setting the bar: 500 in the first 3 months, getting a paycheck, the importance of getting that fast paycheck. It's our job to give them the roadmap to success, right? People want to be directed. And through storytelling, you share how attainable it is. Susie Q, 3 kids, 2 dogs, hubby, full-time job, Fast Start consultant in her first 4 days, Fast Start director in less than 2 weeks, sharing stories of people who earned it. Did you want to say a little bit more about the importance of those stories, Christine?
Sure. Yeah. So thank you. So part of that assuring them, part of that helping them see how attainable it is, because once their belief system is in, then they're in. So of course, we're sharing tons of stories. So what I try and do is get a similar situation of either a team member or someone in the company who has a similar story, and I'll share their story that they can relate to and how they got to their Fast Start bonuses. So when they're full-time, let's say they work full-time, they're like, I am so busy, I don't have a minute in the day and whatnot. So many times I share ones like Terry Rodriguez's story, who's like was a full-time, I think working like 50 hours a day at her school job, and then caretaking and all these other things. And she managed to, and I share her timeline and how she was able to retire from her job by this time. And that now they're like, oh my goodness, so this is possible. And I'm sharing how it's all from part-time business hours. And so I'm always trying to share stories that relate to them so that they can connect to that and be like, oh, well, if she did it, and they hear the timeline and get like, they're very relatively quick times. They're not 10 years or this and this, very attainable to them. Then they get excited. It feels very real. And then I let them know, like, this is the team culture. So you're joining a team that fast start bonuses, going fast is the culture. So we know what it takes and how to get you there, how to coach you to exactly where you want to be. So I'm instilling, and that's because once again, I'm having that, I had my compelling story to share. I'm giving them that confidence in the fact that I can help them every step of the way to get there, sharing the stories about how we've helped ones on our team. And so you're really instilling that confidence and belief system, and they're ready to go.
Yep. All right. So sharing stories. So just like sharing a ULT story makes transformation real, sharing fast start stories makes fast start real. And she's masterful at sharing the fast start stories. Now you might be sitting there thinking, well, I don't have a fast start story. And my sponsor doesn't have a fast start story. How do I do? What do I do in this case? How would you answer that, Christine?
So that's a good question, because not everyone has been able to attain that. So if you haven't, well, let's say, so what was the scenario you wanted me to give if they didn't make their fast start, or
they didn't make their fast start? They're listening to this and going, oh my gosh, well, this makes perfect sense. But Christine has a fast start story, and her upline has a fast start story, and her downline has a fast start story. Well, I want to do this, but I didn't go fast. My upline didn't go fast. How do I jump into this?
Okay. So, I learned from you what to say on this, and it works so well. So basically, you can share something that goes like this. I wish I knew then what I know now. And because when I got started, I wasn't able to take advantage of the fast start bonuses. But if I knew what I know now, I would have made a point to learn and master the fast start bonuses. And so now I have made a point to learn and master the fast start bonuses. Sorry, I messed that up. So that I know exactly what you need to coach them through this. So you're letting them know, like, hey, this is my story, and this is why I feel so important for you, because I wasn't able to, or I didn't take advantage, whatever, wasn't keen on them, but I have learned all I can about them so that I can coach you, so you can be confident in me. So it doesn't ruin your opportunity. It's not like, oh, now it's done because you missed it. You can still coach and be confident in them and instill confidence in your skills.
All right, so we're coming back to what I talked about a little earlier. If you did not go fast start, craft that story. Boy, I didn't go fast in the beginning because life got in the way, or I didn't know what I had in my hand, or I just didn't make it a priority. But if I knew then what I know now, but I want you to know, you're talking to your new brand partner. I know exactly. I have learned, I know exactly how to move you through that fast start program. So don't use, I didn't go fast, my upline didn't go fast, we don't have fast start stories, it's not a culture on my team yet. Don't use that as an excuse to fail and not duplicate fast start. I want you to put a 5 in the chat if we are making sense here, because this is really important, because too many people use this as an excuse to fail because they think, well, I don't have a fast start story, my upline doesn't have a fast start story, so I can't do this. That is not the answer. Okay, this is important. It's so powerful. All right, let's keep going. Now, we've talked a lot about day of enrollment. Okay, and the importance of what do we do? Like, what does that first planning session look like? What are the things we say? How do you tee up fast start, Christine, on the day of enrollment?
So I really feel strongly that the qualifying process, if possible, it's not always possible, but I really try and have a couple sessions or conversations at least of the qualifying process. So I'm getting a lot of that education and information to them. I've invited them to business opportunity calls, sent them some videos, had conversations where I've answered their questions, clarified anything they need. My goal is at the day of enrollment, they're just signing up and starting to run. In fact, they will know exactly what they're going to be doing. So I'll tell them in the pre-qualifying process, when I know they're about to sign up, like let's say we have that appointment to sign up, I'll say, okay, get your list ready, get 20 people. Who do you know? Write down everyone who you know can need a health transformation or needs added income. And I have them bring their list on the day of enrollment. So we're signing them up. They already know they're going to hit the ground running with their widen your reach, because we've talked about that. And I personally don't coach to the timeline of Fast Start, because I found that once again, when you set the bar high, it works and people just run with it. So I actually coach hitting Fast Start Director in 2 weeks. So what that kind of looks like is basically as soon as we sign them up. So I've already explained, as we mentioned, all the Fast Start bonuses through the qualifying process, not in this much detail, but so that when we hit the day of enrollment, I'm like, okay, how would you like to earn $500 in just 2 weeks? You'll get your pack paid for and you'll already start earning because you'll get in the green in your business. And they're always like, yeah, tell me how. I mean, it's so rare that I ever hear someone say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's very occasional because most are pretty excited to do that. So I'm setting them up with a calendar. Of course, I'm having them mark the 10th day because that's the widen your reach expiration date. That's the Fast Start consultant expiration date, but I coach consultant like 1 to 3 days. And that's what so many on my team are doing. So many on our team are enrolling them and have their 3 right off the bat and getting them consultant in a day. So when they do that, you think they're not going to want to go for director? They just saw it possible. What just happened in a day or the first 3 days? Of course, when you say, okay, let's wash, rinse, repeat, you're going to do that the following week, another 3, continue with your widen your reach. And what I love to do is, so I believe launch parties are key. Like as soon as we get them going, 3 to 5 days, let's get them a launch party. And that's where they're going to be inviting everybody. But I don't like to wait. Like, I don't want them calling people and saying, hey, come 5 days later and put any sales off. I want them to get their first UBT bonus that week. So I asked them, give me your top names that we can already contact to get your UBT bonus right, this week before Friday. And then that weekend, we'll have your launch party to get the rest of your prospects going, get the rest of your Fast Start, bonuses in motion, get those prospects reached and follow-ups and whatnot. So that launch party just kind of sets up getting them director into executive nicely.
Okay, so a lot of tips in that segment here, and then we're going to come back to the pre-qual conversation. But let's talk about day of enrollment. So I want to come back to the pre-qual, but what she did say is that she does share this information while she's qualifying the prospect. So day of enrollment's not the first time they heard the word Fast Start. It's not the first time they've heard widen your reach. Okay, I'm going to come back to that so she can give you a little more detail. What I want to jump to is what she just talked about, day of enrollment. Okay, when she talked about their first 3 come to the enrollment with a list. Right. And I used to give why as homework too. Like by the time I'd enroll someone, I had a good sense of their why. I want to be home with the kids. I want to make more money. Got to pay off the debt. I always wanted to work from home. I love these products. I want to be of service. Like I'm already keen on their why, but I used to give them why homework the night before in the enrollment. So instead of going to sleep before I enrolled them with them thinking about all the ways they were going to fail, they could think about all the ways their life is going to transform. So you notice she told them, come to the call, come to the enrollment. She's going to talk about their why and she's going to talk about their list. Come to the call with your list, like come ready to start taking action. Like she gets them into action 3 before the launch event. Did you hear that? Working into the launch event isn't that magical moment the first time we actually sign up your first customer, your brand partners. She's teaching him to work into and through the launch event. So she's looking at the calendar. Let's get your first 3 by Friday. This weekend we're going to have your launch event. And that's the rhythm, right? It was 3 launch repeat is what I heard. Your first 3 launch repeat. So that's powerful. And this can be done in part-time hours. She and her team prove this all the time. Christine, I want to, unless it's moving up here. Okay, so I would like to pause for a moment and let's talk about the pre-qual. let's talk about some of the things you say and do to pre-qualify someone to tee up Fast Start prior to the day of enrollment.
Okay. So once again, first I'm trying to make it all about them as far as getting all their whys, all the questions, all the information possible so I can know which way to go. That's so key. If I just went into it talking, I'd be going into it blindly, not knowing even what they're looking for. And I might be focusing on one thing and they're over here. So I definitely want to get clear on what they are looking for. But what I teach strongly is pre-qualifying our brand partners as much as possible. I have a set of questions that I like to ask them, like, are you, I let them know, now that once they say what they're looking for out of this business, they say they could see this being a fit. Now I let them know, hey, you're going to be getting one-on-one mentorship with this free training, and I'm going to be here every step of the way with you. So, it's going to be an investment in time, of course. So I want to make sure that this is a good fit for both of us. And so I want to, we have a little pre-qualifying process. So I have some questions I'd like to ask you. And I asked them, just like a job interview. I mean, we're not, you go on a job, you're not just randomly saying, okay, I'll take the first person that comes just because you showed up. We want to pre-qualify them because we can choose who we want to work with. So we want to make sure they're motivated and that they're willing to do what we're going to ask of them. So I'm asking them, are you willing can you commit to what I call non-negotiable team calls? I let them know these 3 or 4 calls that we have during the week, including corporate calls, this being one of them. And I say, are you willing to plug into these non-negotiable calls? And I'll give them the time and dates, and they'll answer. Are you willing to pick up the phone and actually call people? Because that's a huge part. I want you to know what you're getting into. I want it to be very transparent what this business consists of. It's a lot of phone work. Are you okay with that? And are you willing to post on social media? Because that is just as important as picking up the phone, and we're going to be using a lot of that. Are you okay with that? So I'm very upfront and transparent because, like I said, on day one, I want to get them running. I like to have fun, and that's the best way to have fun is run. And I want to help people have success. So I don't want to be dragging anyone. So I'm asking them that. Then I ask, can you commit to connect calls? And I'll usually, if it's, let's say, if it's a brand, my brand partner's brand partner, I'll be like, right here, this is what a connect call is. And I say, of course, we don't call it that, but you're going to be getting, what we're asking you with the connect call is not to try and do it on your own. You're going to be gypping yourself of very important training. So by you getting on connect call, you're going to be earning and learning, watching the process. You're going to be taking notes, throughout the process. And can you commit to at least 10, connect calls? Because so many times they'll try and run and take off on their own, and then it just doesn't lead to success for them. So I want them to commit to connect calling and being coachable. And so those are some of the questions that I set them up with. I think there was one more and I can't remember right now, but those are some of the questions.
Time, being coachable, connect calls, talking to people, going on social media. Okay, so for those of you that were doing your list, she has them commit to plug in. Right, these were her non-negotiables: to plug in, talking on the phone, posting on social media, connect calls, earn while you learn, being coachable. What does that mean? We have a proven system. The faster, the easier you make it for me to show you the system, the faster we're going to go. Like, that's my definition of coachable. Like, what does that mean? We have a proven system, right? And the easier you make it for me to teach it to you, the faster you're going to go and the more fun you're going to have. Bing, bam, boom, right? Everything is this assumptive and this posture. Okay. And I want to thank, who put this in here? Kimberly Sanders for typing and putting that all in there. Okay. So these are some of the things she's asking them questions, like she's moved them through the prospecting funnel, right? They've looked at a video. She's invited them to learn more. She's done a connect call. She knows their why. She's talked a little about if the timing is right and this is a fit. We have a fast start program. There's $3,500 on the table for you. I can teach you exactly how to earn that. You don't need full-time hours. This is the culture on our team. I want you to come to, and when they say, yeah, I'm ready to go, she's come to the call, ready to rock. right? And she's talked about the non-negotiables. These are the things. Hey, you got to plug in. We got calls. Is that cool? Hey, we're going to actually talk on the phone. Is that cool? Yeah, we're going to do connect calls. Is that cool? Right? Like these are the things if you want to have fun. This is our system, right? So all that happens to pre-qualify. So at day of enrollment, that's why they're so successful. This team is so successful on day of enrollment to get into immediate action. I'm absolutely convinced after over 30 years in this profession that the better we are at pre-qualifying people, the greater the odds will avoid some of the more common pitfalls. That doesn't mean that people aren't going to fool us, but the odds are more in their favor to get off to a faster start. All right, so that was some quality info on the pre-qual, okay? And then she already talked a little bit about day of enrollment. She talked about working into the launch event. Is there anything more that you want to say about the launch event, Christine?
Well, just
how you help them invite. Oh, excuse me. How you help them invite, how you use connect calls to share stories, that sort of advice.
Yeah, so I just, once again, the more simple and clear and easy we make it for them, because they're just starting out, the more they'll get into action. So I just let them know, like, I'm going to make this so easy for you. I'm going to give you verbiage for inviting verbiage. And we're going to create a little flyer so that you get this out to everyone. And I just go over a little bit of how to invite and how the call will go. And I mean, it's pretty simple. Then I explain everything on the call, and they do a little welcome. But the launch events are powerful. They work because it gets them into massive action. And so I literally say, like, anyone you can think of, get them on this call. And it just really gets them excited. It exposes them to, we'll have them do a little welcome on the call. So they get on the Zoom and open it up a little bit, just share a quick minute of their story. So it gets them jumping in just enough where they get excited. They feel like, wow, this is real. I'm creating my business, and they're motivated. So launch events are key because it's just that, it's their launching pad through getting, catapulting them through the fast start bonuses with that momentum created. So they have worked time and time again. I really highly encourage them. And also I wanted to clarify, when I say, can you commit to 10 connect calls? It's not like, oh, after the 10th, it's like, okay, this is your 11th, you're on your own now. I want to get it instilled in them. Like, if they know they have to commit to 10, they're not going to start right off on their own. So I want to get at least 10, and then they'll see the benefit and keep going, because, I encourage them to keep going with connect calls. So I just wanted to clarify that. And also with the day of enrollment, I like to get out that fast track path to fast start director, so that I give them that little, it's in our in boards. I'll send that over to them. We'll go over that together. I don't go over all the numbers and make it so complicated right off the bat. I want them to see, though, because they can see the numbers there. I want them to see 3 UBTs, widen your reach equals next week, 3 UBTs, widen your reach equals. They just see it simply written there, and that helps give them a visual. And I'm talking about right off the bat, day one, I'm talking about brand partners. So I don't shy away from the business. I encourage them, make a business post. I'll help them share on their video a business post. I'm encouraging it. I put the bug in their ear. Look for brand partners. Who needs income right now? There's inflation, there's recession going on. Who needs to make ends meet? Who just lost a job? Who's not making enough? Who loves this type of business? The quicker you get brand partners on, the more exponential growth you're going to have, and the quicker you're going to get through these fast starts. So I'm already putting the bug in their ear of where I know they're going to want to be very shortly, so that they have it already in their mind.
Yep. Now, this is a big tip right here, my friends. She's teaching balanced message from day one. She didn't say, okay, let's just focus on products in the beginning. Let's just get you customers. She's teaching balance from day one. Think about it. When we started, and when we start a new person, everyone's got a mom, a sister, a best friend, a cousin, someone they're already in business with, someone they've been working with, right? Most everybody has someone that they're just, or 2 or 3 or 5 people that you're excited to talk to them about the business from day one. Coach that. that balance. Let's help them get their first customers and their first brand partners. It's not an either or. That is a powerful tip. I think we're doing them a disservice personally if we're only saying, well, let's just get your first customers, because they could know some really smoking hot people who would be excited. And to Christine's point, with inflation, with what's going on in the world, why should we rob anybody, or why should we teach them to rob anyone of both gifts of Purium, the gift of transformation physically and the gift of transformation financially? Those are two gifts that they deserve to hear about, and then let them decide where their interest is. All right, before we ask for takeaways and before we tie this all up, I'm going to ask you a question, Christine, and then I'm going to have you answer it, then I'm going to answer it, and then we're going to do takeaways. So people who are listening tonight and who didn't do Fast Start, but they want to begin to get this energy and this attitude and start duplicating, what would be your advice for them to move into a Fast Start mentality?
Well, I mean, if you didn't get your Fast Start, no doubt you're part of a team who many are. Listen to their stories, collect stories. Stories lead to belief system. When you plug into these calls and you hear other top leaders sharing about it, or their other experiences, that helps build your belief system. So once again, just like when I first started this business, I didn't try the product, but I started because I had started sharing right away, because I had seen and heard people's stories. That's all I needed to understand how this works and to be convinced. So same thing, like, you don't have to have done your Fast Starts to know that this is needed. In fact, if you didn't do your Fast Starts, you know even more why you want your brand partner to do it. And so help them to achieve that. And with their best interest in mind, help them to create that recruiting story, that powerful tool, that compelling story, so that they can set themselves up for success right off the bat. So just tie into those stories and plug into these calls, because this is where our belief system grows. That's why these are so powerful. It's like our lifeline to this business.
Yep, I agree. And to the point that's going on in the chat, yeah, there's tons of stories available in so many different places, Amanda. That was such a good question. There's tons of stories. And again, for those of you who are working with a team, every day I had a goal when I was in the field to capture fresh stories. Just start capturing fresh stories, but there's tons of stories. To Tammy's point, on Instagram, Cami put the link to the success stories. Thank you, Cami. I was just going to ask somebody to do that. We got boatloads of stories that people can share. All right, so that's Christine's advice. A piece of advice that I would give if you're listening tonight and you're digging what's going on and you're thinking, how do I get into this Fast Start mentality? This is a proven tip. This just isn't something I'm plucking out of midair here. This is a proven tip. You jumpstart your business today. You pretend like today is day one, that you were just enrolled today, and you duplicate the activities of the Fast Start program. Widen your reach for the next 10 days. Do the activity and the volume and the enrollments necessary to qualify for Fast Start consultant before 10 days are up. Qualify for the volume and the requirements for Fast Start Director between now and 2 weeks from now. Pretend like today is day one and you just duplicate the Fast Start program. You may not get those bonuses now, but to everything Christina said and everything that I said early on, the story you're going to create, the belief you're going to have because you've been through it, you will know it better. You're going to believe in it more. You're going to be able to coach it better. You're gonna be able to mentor better. You're gonna be able to talk about it better, and it will literally jumpstart your business. So that is the proven piece of advice. Pretend as today is day one and duplicate the Fast Start program. All right, takeaways in the chat. What was something you heard from Christine this evening? What was something you heard about Fast Start that you are going to put into immediate action? Again, I just don't want you having a journal full of great notes from a master like Christine. I want you prepared to put it into action. You can make Fast Start by continuing to bring in new brand partners, pre-qualify, clear, simple language, launch events, offer it, the sky's the limit, ask questions, set the bar high, qualify, set the bar high, tell stories, First 3 UBT by that first Friday. Widen your reach, personal belief, that posture, how you deliver it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, my friends. Christine, I'm constantly, every time we work together off pretty regularly, we connect. And I invariably, when I'm working with you, find myself thinking that as smart as you are, and what a great leader you've grown into, you equally have the biggest heart, and you come from such a place of authenticity. And I try not to take advantage of the fact that she would get up in the middle of the night, but I told her she has so many gifts to share that if she would get up just a few times a year for us, it is a gift to the field, right? And so what you heard tonight is a master who is building a fast and thriving organization where fast start is the norm. It is the norm. It is the culture on that organization. And she has taught it to her key leaders who have taught it to their key leaders. And that's why that's why they're one of the fastest growing organizations in the company. And that's not an accident. That is because they are mastering widen your reach, UBT, fast start. Yep, there's no secret. Any final thoughts from you, sweet girl? What would you like to say?
I just want to say this was it was great. I missed these calls, being on them live, and to be here with all of you, even at 3 a.m. is such an honor. And thank you, Leslie, for all you do, because I've learned from the best. I have amazing uplines. We have you. And I'm just so thankful for this opportunity. So thank you all for your support. This was awesome.
This was an awesome call. All right, my friends, I am going to open up the chat and allow you to thank Christine, or open up the mute and what would you like to say?
Sorry.
Christine?
I just want to thank my team, of course. I want to thank my team, because that's why another huge reason I'm here at 3 a.m. is to represent them, because most importantly, they are amazing and they are fast start king and queen. So they keep me on my toes. So I'm just so proud of each and every one of them. I wish I could tell all their stories, but there wouldn't be enough time, obviously. But I want to thank each and every one of them.
Yeah, and that is a sign of a fine leader indeed. All right, my friends, I'm going to unmute so that you all can give a shout out to Christine Roseberry.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you,
Christine.
Christine.
Love you, Christine.
Love you,
Christine.
That was great.
Thank you.
Waking up so early for us. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ladies.
Amazing call as always.
Bye.
I welcome you.